Grim prospects are ahead for Europe's single currency in the new year as the region's leaders warn of tough sacrifices in this most severe test in decades. 2012 marks 10 years since Europeans first held euro notes and coins in their hands. But with recession looming, the sense of optimism that greeted the united currency at its inception seems to have evaporated, as RT's Tessa Arcilia now reports.
The birth of an ambitious project, a common currency, celebrated with no less than a big bang.
The euro is the beginning of a strong European Union. We shall be the best in the world, the best in the world.
Yet 10 years down the road, the euro is not in the best of shape. A spiraling sovereign debt crisis, credit downgrades, rising interest rates, tens of millions unemployed, budget cuts and violent protests.
The euro is undergoing the worst crisis it has ever been in. And obviously the founders of the euro did not hope that this would happen.
For what began as a step towards a united Europe has become a race against time, with EU leaders scrambling to keep it together. Eurosceptics have long argued that the euro was flawed from the start, pursuing a political dream above all else. Well, they say lumping together polar opposite economies like that of Greece and Germany into a monetary union could never work.
All economic rationality has been thrown out of the window in the pursuit of this goal, and we're now reaping the consequences of it.
Couple that with internal squabbles and deadlocks.
There has to be a sign from somewhere that some economic entity that is credible is going to back every Eurozone bond. And there are only 2 or 3 entities that can do that. One is the European Central Bank. The other is basically the German government. And neither of them right now are willing to do it.
Now, this exhibit shows the journey of the European Union and the creation of the single currency, with documented events in history that explain why it would have been appealing to decision makers at the time. So much so that cracks in the fundamentals may have been overlooked or ignored, which brings us to this point. 10 years after the creation of the euro, its appeal has waned. And despite last-ditch efforts to save it, its future is still uncertain. In the spirit of the new year, we asked for some predictions.
What one can be sure of is that this crisis is going to be a long and bumpy road. However, if you would ask me, do you think that the euro would still exist in 10 years' time, my answer would be yes.
They can't bring themselves to admit that it was a mistake, and so I'm afraid we risk the very thing they purport to fear, which is a disorderly breakup of the euro caused by having tried to keep it together for too long.
Downgrades, almost certainly. I think you'll see a French downgrade. I still think this is solvable if the political will is shown in certain member states to allow for what is called solidarity in Europe. And if not, we are in for a huge recession in Europe.
It's certainly my prediction that at least Greece will leave the euro in the next year. And what happens beyond that is unpredictable.
Euro watchers may have diverging views on the single currency's future, but it seems whichever way the euro goes, it won't be painless. Tessa Arcilia, RT, Brussels.